on my latest AMV that turned out pretty well. I'm glad you liked it, and I already did actually start up looking footage for Ratchet to get to work on the Ratchet AMV. And I think
Nice.
that turned out pretty well too.
Yeah, that could be good. And guys, I know the title doesn't match the background.
I gotta see what the title you have said is. I will say it
Well,
is fun getting back to this show. It is one that I have not
it
watched
is.
since we were in it last. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
Outlander.
yeah,
Yeah, that's decidedly not what we are doing at this time.
yeah. No, I did not have time to change the background. So the title correct. The background star. But hey, I managed to get Keiko's avatar walking away.
Yep, I can see me over there. That's good.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, we are getting back to Cleopatra in space.
And yeah,
No,
just as I remember it, this is a fun little show, and it's good getting into seeing what's going on with these characters.
yeah, definitely. I, you know, I'm not sure about Keckles, but I definitely watched the first two episodes just to jog my memory of
Uh,
what.
I just jumped in with three. I do remember most what happened in like those first two episodes.
Okay, yeah, I went into the whole vibe with just to be brief. The first two episodes all set it up why Cleopatra is in space and how she got there.
The first
With,
episodes are basically one episode in general. It's just a
yeah,
setup.
yeah,
I would consider this what they used to do back in the day for shows where they would do like a 5 episode or 3 episode pilot movie for a show, and then the real show begins after that.
yeah. Now I would have to agree with that. I would.
Where they're like designed to be watched like together.
Yeah. No. Since we're not really covering the first two right now, let's go ahead and jump into episode number 3 with Keckles. Do you want to take up that one or
Sure, I can get us started.
okay?
So, episode 3, clubbing. This is basically the first episode where it's just a normal day where you can sort of see where they're going to be doing the show and the general day-to-day stuff. It is Cleopatra at school. It is her trying to figure out her place. It's all the homesickness. It is an introduction to the place. The previous episode, we got to see the school. We got to see most of the supporting cast that are there. We got to see lots of interesting, weird aliens. Though, strangely enough, we don't get to see most of them in this episode. I'd assume that, the rival character to play a more prominent role, but she doesn't show up in this or surprise any of the other episodes for this evening. She was just in episode 2 basically, and then nothing else. That was kind of surprising.
Uh, I think you're mistaken there, Pickles, because the rival in this was in the debate club.
No, no, I mean like she. Oh, okay, yeah, she did show up in this, but none of the other episodes I meant. And even in this one, she was in the episode for like a minute and a half.
Yes, yes,
It was just the whole her saying that she knows more about ancient Egypt because she studied the whole library, which is basically nothing in that library. But you would expect
yeah,
her to be more prominent in a school set episode, but she is there for that one scene and nothing else.
yeah,
And the whole point of that scene is for Cleopatra to not be in that club with her. So the scene with the rival is setting up that she's not going to be in a club with the rival.
yeah. I mean, just the whole kind of the different clubs was interesting, but
To me,
yeah,
that would be like setting up a scene where you introduce like a crush character, but the point of the episode is that they're not going to be in the class with the crush.
yeah, yeah. No, I got that.
Um, we do still get to see a little bit more of the school. This episode seemed more to be just set up for one particular thing, and that particular thing being her homesickness and the weird energy powers, which I
Yeah,
should be more surprised about than they all seem to be behaving towards. Because, like, yes, they acknowledge, oh, this is strange. But no, she has weird superpowers. That should be the biggest deal ever, especially since it shuts down machines and their enemies are all robots. She's a
mm,
walking EMP grenade. Why is that not something they're talking about more in this and the other episodes?
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I honestly think that it would be a bigger deal than it was, and you know, it's definitely something that I would like them to explore more of.
I mean, I get that they will. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're going to, but the fact that it has no bearing on anything so far is a little annoying.
Yeah, I get that. I do.
So her EMP powers end up shutting down the force field protecting the school from the meteor shower outside, which is basically how they're hiding from the evil empire by being like in the center of a meteor shower. Um, with their force field. So yeah, that's good. But she ends up convincing a cowardly AI to turn back on the force field.
Now, was it just protecting the school, or was it protecting the whole city? I
Uh,
believe it was the city it was
yeah, the
protect.
city. But I thought like the whole place was the academy.
Um, no, I don't think the entire place is the academy. I think the academy is just the biggest building in the city,
Okay.
but that's the way I look at it anyway. So, hmm, no,
Okay, I'm just looking something up. Cleopatra. Mm, Mayet City. Okay, so the whole place is Mayet City. The academy is just
uh,
like the biggest building there. Okay.
yeah, that's what that that's what I was thinking. Huh.
All right. So yeah, I still don't know the friends here just yet. That's something where I'd have to watch more episodes before I learn everybody's names. You've got the neurotic robot and the hyper fish girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But no,
Brian.
I'm enjoying this so far, getting to know the characters. But as I'm saying, that one episode felt, other than setting up her powers, it felt incredibly throwaway.
No, I got it. I mean, it's definitely felt like this was a slow word episode, which, I mean, I
Well,
don't mind it, but
I will say some of the episodes have that PBS kids learn a lesson feel to them, and this one had that very strongly.
yeah, I could definitely agree with that, especially towards the end where she had to convince the AI to power up the backup generator and all that. I felt I was watching like a odd episode of Cyber Chase.
Yeah, no, I can get you with that.
Yeah.
All right. Any specific things for you for the episode?
I mean,
Like characters they use or that they didn't use as much as you think they should have?
I did that in that aspect, no, but I did find it interesting in the debate club scene how he was like debating a ritual planet in that scene. I
Uh,
mean,
I gotcha. Well, as someone who's a fan of the Green Lanterns, I've seen stuff like that before.
yeah, well, I mean, this is about, what was it, UK or the living planet that is a green lantern. But yeah,
Mogo. You're thinking Mogo.
Mocha, okay, I said UK was,
Close enough.
yeah, close enough. But no, it was a good episode. I definitely agree with you on the pacing of it. Really like a PBS show with this particular episode. That's why I said cyber shape. But yeah, no, it definitely had that feel to it. But there's not much more that I can really say about this particular episode. So,
But yeah, not too much. Another just here we've got to establish that she's homesick, and we've got to establish that she'll be able to get over some of it, and that's just the episode.
yeah. So,
Because they can't have every episode be her crying and whining about wanting to go home. We gotta
yeah,
have
no.
more there. So this is her getting over some of that.
Yeah, it is. Now, I will say before we move on, I did think that all telekinetic powers are a good addition to it. I just hope that we see how use them more than just in a episode here or there. I mean, this is a short series, so they need to really utilize that a lot in this.
Yeah, the show's not too long.
No, I mean, 27 episodes is trouble, and the majority of that is Hugh is season one. So, yeah, not too long at all. Alright, so we move on to episode 4.
Sure.
Okay, so episode 4, humility. Uh, okay, Captain is asked to take Akita, Brian, and Chloe on a special mission into space as they level outside a dreadful fortress. Chloe gets separated and tries to join a tribe of very chill creatures which are a which are avowed as non-violent. She tried to convince them to save her friend who have been cancelled. Now, okay, I will say this alien species that we meet from for me they will too relax. I mean I get the peace and love man, no violence.
Hippies.
Yeah, yeah, hippies. But if we hippies know that you have to fight sometimes, they will take it to an extreme. Now, I will say the whole, you know, God bit with whatever that creature was cute.
Yeah, the big mushroom puppy.
Yeah, yeah, the bit mostly puppy. And it was basically the skill of a dog and Cleopatra just tamed it within point 0.5 seconds of almost being eaten.
Okay, to me, it looked like a cross between a salamander and an axolotl.
Yeah, I definitely see the axolotl in it. I do. But the way it behaved was more dark. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yes, yes, so. Now, the whole bit of them trying to, you know, needing to get Cleopatra, Chloe to go on this method and take it serious is something else. I mean, Cleopatra, from what I have seen in these past 3 episodes, and now she's not going to be taken serious anytime soon. Now, yes, she's a 15-year-old girl with who's basically interfered for our whole private. She doesn't know how to be serious, but I will even say there was a time and place where you're gonna need to be free, be on a alien world where you're possibly gonna have to fight for life. Yeah, you need to be serious about that.
Now, I will
With
say that she has been serious. She's just been overconfident.
okay,
Like,
okay,
she's still treating this situation as serious, but she's treating it as a serious situation that she's more than equipped to handle.
alright, makes sense.
As in, like, not waiting for a plan, that type of stuff.
Yeah, now, okay, uh, I probably just say that the way things go out, I wouldn't, but I'm not in the cartoon. I wish I was. But yeah, it's definitely a fun episode, and we'll definitely get to see more of her adventurous side, I would say.
One interesting thing is that this is since the first episode, only the second time we've actually seen like the main enemies for the show. Cause like, oh, you've lost sound.
No, I'm just on target.
Oh, okay. Um, so yeah, in episode two, we did see like that weird probe droid, but this is the first time actually seeing like the invading robots since episode one. The closest we got were the weird cardboard cutout targets that we saw in episode two.
Yeah, I got it.
So this is basically giving us a bit of an idea of missions that the characters would go on. But I'm also wondering who else is going on these missions? Because I mean, I'm getting that they're cadets, that they're at the academy, but I who else is doing stuff?
Yeah, no, I mean, you have to assume that there's more than one team of cadets going with a professor on a training mission. Otherwise, it's just Cleopatra and them trying to force her to become the great Cleopatra that they know from the legend was. Mm,
which I am
I,
hoping we get a little more information on in general.
yeah,
It's still not quite set on like what's going on with that.
yeah, no, I agree with you there. I would like a bit more information on that myself.
And this was also another lesson episode where the characters needed to like learn different things. Like, yes, this was obviously a teaching training episode, so you're gonna get stuff like that. But this episode, they flat out spelled it out. Hey, Cleopatra, learn this thing. Learn this proper behavior that kids need to know how to do.
Yeah,
How
no,
to be
like,
patient, how to relax, how to follow
yeah,
instruction, how to not rush into things.
yeah, no, I get you, and it did do that.
Uh,
It did do that. It went that way. The episode is literally called Humility, so it's right on the nose
Almost
with
like a
that.
My Little Pony episode. Which
Yeah,
again is not an insult. That can be construed as a compliment because they did it well. I
yeah,
have no good message
no.
episodes provided the message is delivered well.
Same here. I agree with you.
Um
And
Also for the fight scenes, very well animated, just as they were before. I like the
that's
movement for the characters. I love the colors. I love the alien environment that we're seeing them on. I hope we get more and more varied environments.
yeah, no, I hope so too. Now, I will definitely say this, and you know where I'm going with this.
Not yet. Just take me there, man.
I have a feeling that this time travel stuff happened once before, if you know where I'm going with.
Um, I can see the theory. I don't see it yet where it would play in.
Okay, well, there's a particular scene in the next episode that kinda brings it to light. If you know what scene I'm referring to. Hmm.
Not not really, unless like it may have been something that I missed, but I didn't see anything which hinted towards additional time travel in the next episode.
Alright, well, why don't we dive into it and I will let you know what scene that is.
Okay, so the next episode is Aquila Says No, in which we deal with the whole issue with Aquila and her inability to say no to her friends or, in fact, to anyone else, it would seem. You have Cleopatra basically taking over the dorm room without realizing because Aquila won't, say, hey, there's no other rooms here. You have her basically agreeing to do multiple things for multiple people, and it's something which derails the entire episode why they go to deal with this weird personal issue, which is kind of hilarious because they should be getting ready for the arrival of the only member of the royal family who's supposed to be paying a visit to the academy.
Yeah.
So the episode has them trying to put her through a series of increasingly uncomfortable tests so that she is forced to say no to them eventually, which does not happen until it is literally in the worst possible situation. And she has to say no in order to say yes to something.
Yeah. Mm.
They end up going to a trading place to deal with scavengers. Uh, there's a chase. There is a setup for some more interesting side characters because I could definitely see them interacting with the space traders again, and I can see that being fun. I I will say an entire episode based around this one thing did seem a little bit wasteful. Like there was something more they could have been doing with it. Like I wanted to know what was in the book. I wanted to know what was going on with the princess arriving, but it is all just sidetracked with this let's teach her how to say no plot.
Uh, I get it, and yeah, the whole
Like
say no.
you only have like 13 episodes this season. You've got to, you got to
Yeah,
do
no.
stuff.
I mean, this kind of was the episode that they could have used to develop the plot more, but there is a scene in this episode that makes me bring up the question of additional time travel. The
Let me hear it.
okay, the toast the end of the episode when Cleopatra it walks into the hole. Fellow, and I'm gonna butcher this fellow Lusana is coming out of the fellows to tell, hey, I hope I get a before to meet you, and I have, I know what you're going through, just basically tell her, like, hi, I know you're not from this time, and I know it has, and this is what I'm getting at, is I feel like she said this has happened once before.
Okay. I see what you're talking about with that. I didn't see it that way. Um, 'Cause I remember her saying, "I know what you're going through." I believe she said, "I know who you are and like where you're from." But you also have to remember that the council already knows that she's from the past, which means most likely the royal family knows she's from the past and they just told her.
Yes,
Because that's not a
but
secret to them.
no, I got it. But the main part that this is my theory is out there, I know, but could your son's family in particular hope mobile end up being the mother of Cleopatra? But in my mind, I'm more or less convinced that there's a familial connection between Cleo and Yosana than what we know as of right now.
Well, I would see it more that she's Cleopatra's descendant because that is the Ptolemy family, which is just Cleopatra's family.
Okay,
Cleopatra is from the from the dynasty of Ptolemy. So
yeah.
that would just be her descendant. So like she's their ancestor, not the other way around.
No, no, I got you, but you know, my whole point being, you know, we in the first episode we're led to believe that Cleopatra's mother has passed away, correct?
I believe so.
Okay, so
You
I'm
think she went to the future instead?
yes, and
Okay.
that the current pharaoh is is not home but is a child of her mother's, assuming that her mother met the previous commonly pharaoh and got together with him.
So you're saying that her mother left the past to go into the future and had another family in the future.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I think that's a little too soap opera-y, you know?
No, I,
A
I
little too soap
get
opera-y
you.
for a kid's show.
I get you, but
If this was like uh an older anime, sure, I could see that.
okay,
Because then
okay.
you would have the whole thing of Cleopatra sort of like hating the children of her mother. That like you left us for these people, and there'd be
Well,
angst.
I mean, at this point, she doesn't know that's her mother's daughter.
Right.
That's
But if she
that.
found out, then that would be anime angst. I don't see that being in this show. At the end of the day, you have to remember this is probably a show meant for like 12-year-old demographic. So I'm not
No,
guessing at that stuff.
I definitely get ya. I mean, it's a DreamWorks cartoon,
Yeah,
so
a little bit of meta knowledge. It's like, hey, we know who this is being made for.
yeah. So, I, I'm just wanting to put it out there. I
You just
mean,
want to put it out into the world.
yeah, it's what I felt marveled in just want to be. So, uh, but with that being said, it is a good episode. I, I mean, I like the kind of jab at the capital C will do basically discount pilots. Uh,
That
that was,
episode does have one of my favorite jokes of the entire series so far. When one of them wants to say that the captain will be angry about them stealing the bike,
yeah,
and the other one just responds with, "That bike was worth like $5. They paid us $80."
yeah, no, like,
It's like, who cares? It was garbage.
we could easily replace that bike no matter what. So,
It would be like someone, oh no, someone stole a pack of gum, but they paid but they bought a pack of chips and paid $2,000 for it. It's like,
yeah, like,
we didn't give them their change. Let them keep the gum.
yeah, no, like, at, at some point, the loss is, oh, is less when you're given, you know, 8 times the amount of what the item is and I mean,
Yeah, they already
really,
overpaid for it, so they didn't lose anything.
really, so, the,
They could have
and,
bought 10 of those bikes for the what they paid.
yeah, and, you know, I also like the joke, oh, you know, that level is only worth ten, $10.
Yeah.
Like,
Metal was worth $10, the bike was worth 5.
like, you know, $15 altogether for a value of $50, and you got, you know, $80 for the metal itself. Like,
Just let them go.
don't, yeah, don't worry about the bike like it's nothing. uh, it was a okay episode. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah,
I mean,
it seemed like a sort of a throwaway episode, but the jokes were funny, so I don't care.
yeah. Now, I'm looking ahead real quick. Uh, okay, so how they have season one split up doesn't fully make sense to me because, okay, so basically, the current episodes 1 through 5, part 1, part 6, so episode 6 is a special, and 7 through 13 is part 2. I mean, I wish
Probably
that's,
released in episode blocks then. That could be what they meant.
yeah, because, yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. But, that tells you the episode 6 was released on its own. So, yeah.
Um, you know what? I think I know why.
What's up?
Do you know what episode 6 is called?
I did, and yeah, it makes sense for that timeline.
And when was episode 6 released? Originally, like, put out?
Well,
They probably held off on it for a bit.
yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely because, looking at, I'm on Wikipedia, by the way, and, looking at the dates, yeah, like, I mean, it makes sense, it does, so, you know, okay. But with that being said, Jonas, if you only watch this show on YouTube, Jonas, that's sweet, but are you free Friday, Cackles?
I may be out this. No, actually, I know I will be out on this Friday. I have a birthday to go to.
Okay, so, again, Jonas, next week for more episodes. Yeah, bye, guys.
Later, taters.